up, guys? Today we're checking out a Hertz shallow mount subwoofer. This is the Milli Pro MPS 250 4-ohm. Now this is a 1,000-watt sub. This is a little higher on the price range. These vary about $400 to $500 depending on where you buy them. But this is definitely a high-end shallow mount, so I'm interested to see how this does. Hertz is a really good brand. They're not just one of those brands that copy other build houses. They have their own engineers and designs, which is pretty cool because whenever you buy something Hertz, you know you're getting something different. You're getting something high quality. So it's pretty cool how they design and run their business with all their proprietary designs. So this is a really interesting shallow mount. Right off the bat, they do give you a nice heavy-duty grill. If you have space, if you're going to mount it where you want a grill. Now the grill is kind of thick, but that is because the design of this sub allows them to get a lot of excursion out of it for a shallow mount. It's actually pretty crazy, the specs. It gives you 16.8 millimeters of X-Max. Most shallow mounts are like 8 millimeter. And even like the Scar shallow mount, which is kind of a hybrid, it's not really shallow. The Scar has 11.5. This has 16.8 millimeters. So it's crazy the excursion they got out of here. And I'm going to show you a picture right now. It's because of the design. So take a look at this. So you can see how instead of the voice coil being low, back towards where a conventional magnet will be, the voice coil is actually pushed up all the way up until under the dust cap. So essentially, they're able to take the magnet, use a bigger magnet, because they're sliding it up towards the dust cap. So it's super compact, but when they do that, they're able to use a bigger magnet, so you have more motor force and a longer coil without making the speaker deep. So as you can see from the picture, it's a really cool design. Definitely different, that's for sure. So it does have a nice hard rubber surround. The way the cooling works, the dust cap is fully vented, molded into the cone. You do have a nice thick ring. It's like a composite material, and there is foam on it already. So depending on what kind of box you're using, it is sealed. Now let's go ahead and get this thing flipped over. I'll show you guys the back of it. Okay, and here is the back of this subwoofer. Really cool looking sub. I mean, you can tell that they put some engineering time into this thing because it's definitely not conventional. Really nice basket. You have a nice heavy duty spider. And there you can kind of see you have double stacked magnets down in there. Round wire terminals with the spade type leads, which is kind of common on these. You have your foam seal right here. I'll try to give you a better look. But so basically they were able to get more motor force, more excursion, and the mounting depth is only 3¼ inches. So that's really cool. So essentially this should give you kind of a more powerful, impactful sub, and it fit in a shallow mount space. The other cool thing they did, you'll notice there's no venting on the back. So what that does, it allows you to mount the sub all the way to the back of the box. You don't need any gap like a conventional sub, because all the venting comes out through the side of the basket right there, and it doesn't have to go back through the pole vent. So that's cool. So it's 3 inches and a quarter depth, and that's exactly all you need. You don't need an extra inch like on other subs to give yourself an inch of gap between the back vent. So that'll really help actually in shallow mount situations. So far this thing seems incredible. I haven't heard it yet, but we'll get it hooked up soon. I mean, you have double, almost triple the excursion of other shallow mounts. You can mount it all the way flat against the box. You don't want to do that because it'll rattle, but you only have to leave yourself like maybe an 1/8 inch gap. And it's only got a 3 1/4 mounting depth. So with that being said, this is probably the shallowest shallow mount that you can get, because it doesn't require an extra inch of space or 1/2 inch of space behind it. So really cool design. We're going to go ahead and get this hooked up. It is rated for 1000 peak, 500 RMS. So that's pretty good power handling, which doesn't surprise me because it actually has a very large motor assembly in there with nice magnets. And this thing weighs in at about 11 pounds. I'll put that up on the screen now. So it's a pretty beefy 10-inch shallow mount. So let's go ahead and get this thing hooked up and see how it sounds. I'm super curious about this sub. Alright, so we're going to run these on a 1000 watt amp. This box is about 0.77 cubic foot sealed, so really good specs for this sub. So let's get it cranked up and see how it sounds. Wow, those things are freaking crazy for a shallow mount. Did you guys see all that excursion? Wow. They were taking all that 1000 watt amp, so they did great with that, but man, I can't believe the excursion. These things sound really good. They hit the lows really good. Musically, they just sound excellent. So if you guys are looking for a shallow mount that actually sounds good, and you got a little bit more coin, because these are a little bit on the pricier side, about $400 to $500 a piece, man, it's worth it because they sound so good. And you're getting all that extra excursion and movement, which is just going to make you feel it more. It's going to make you feel the bass more than a lot of the shallow mounts with only like 0.8 millimeters of excursion. So these things are excellent, man. I'll put a link in the description if you want to check these out. I think Big Jeff is the biggest Hertz dealer. And if you buy anything from him, use my coupon code HiFi Vector. It'll save you some cash. I will try to put a link in the description for you guys if you want to check this out. Also, check out the HiFi Vector channel, you guys, if you want to support me in the channel. I made some new bass knobs and some amp cooling fans. So I'm going to come out with some new products here and there if you guys want to check out HiFiVector.com. And thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And until next time.